What's up, Falcons Nation? NFL fans, it's your boy Jew coming at you guys with some NFL breaking news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today in NFL breaking news, the NFL Competition Committee has banned the hip drop tackle. And personally, I do not like this rule for the NFL. Right now in the NFL, it seems like majority of the rules that they're coming up with are favoring the offensive side of the football, and the defensive side of the football is at a disadvantage. And to me, this is one of those rules that is going to create another disadvantage for the defensive side of the ball, being that a lot of players have been getting injured with that hip drop tackle, where guys' legs get caught behind them or get caught up underneath them. The league is trying to prevent these injuries, but at the end of the day, this is football. Football is a violent sport, and I feel like the hip drop tackle usually when you're on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, players on the defensive side of the ball are going to do anything they can to get the runner on the ground, meaning the offensive player on the ground. And I really feel like the problem that this creates for the defense, as far as the disadvantage, is lighter defensive players like the cornerbacks and things of that nature. When they go to tackle bigger players on the opposing offense, like tight ends, like these bigger wide receivers, it's really hard for those players, once those guys build up momentum with the football, meaning those tight ends and running backs and those bigger players. And usually sometimes these players outweigh the defensive player by maybe 50 pounds or 60 pounds. At the end of the day, when you're trying to stop a runner as a defender, once that guy builds up that momentum and starts running, a lot of the times when guys are trying to tackle these offensive players from behind, and once they get a hold of these guys, they have to lower their leverage and lower their weight to bring down a heavier player. Just imagine guys like Derrick Henry carrying the ball, and he's going up against a defensive back, and he has a full head of steam. It makes it really, really hard for opposing defensive players to tackle that opposing offensive player. So I don't like this rule of the hip drop tackle being banned. I understood why they banned the horse collar tackle, because a lot of players were having serious injuries due to that horse collar tackle, where you're running and your momentum's carrying you forward, and someone grabs you from the back of your jersey and pull you down in the opposite direction. I definitely understood why the NFL banned that particular tackle, or why it's a penalty when that particular type of play takes place. But I'm not a fan of the hip drop tackle ban being placed by the NFL. I think that this is just one other rule that makes it really hard on opposing defenders, to bring down an opposing offensive player. And like I mentioned, we've seen tons of plays where the NFL is a game of inches, and sometimes it comes down to a player trying to reach for the goal line and things of that nature. And based off of all of the rules that are currently in place, I really feel like the NFL is putting defensive players in a bind in a lot of these situations. We've seen over the years, sometimes, that 1 inch or that 1 yard can be the difference between a Super Bowl, a la the Rams and Tennessee Titans Super Bowl game, where basically the Titans came up like 1 yard short, and the LA Rams, or now LA Rams, but St. Louis Rams back then, won the Super Bowl. So I really feel like some of these actual rules that the NFL are adding could really start affecting games. So at this point, I do believe, that they're going to definitely have to continue looking at these rules, and they have to allow the physicality to still remain in the game. I understand them banning a lot of the, tackles with the crown of the helmet and things of that nature, because players get seriously injured, neck injuries and things of that nature. But I don't agree with this rule. At the end of the day, there's a reason why you give these guys pads and things of that nature to protect themselves. But at some point, we have to level the playing field for these defensive players and the defensive side of the ball. Right now, with all of the illegal contact and all of the different rules that have been added in the game, I really feel like it's putting the defensive players in a bind and putting them, basically in a lose-lose situation. So I definitely don't like this rule change. I definitely think that the NFL should definitely look back at this next year, the competition committee after this season, to possibly add it, take it out of the rule book. But personally, like I stated, it's just too many disadvantages for the defense at this point. And they're taking the physicality out of the game. At some point, the defense has to be able to impose their will on the offense. They have to be able to make stops and things of that nature. And we have to give them give them some leeway as well when it's all said and done. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on the new ban in the NFL with the hip drop tackle. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. It's always Falcons Nation, NFL fans, rise up, be blessed. Peace.